early morning on day one at Tristan Tucker's ranch. Preparations are in full swing as the riders are arriving at Camp TRT.
My name is Martina. I come from Sweden. I'm into jumping. My best horse jumps on the 145 level. I brought a 6-year-old mare, Nadine. I start to let her move a little bit on the launch before I go up on her, and I do go up on her, and I was very fast on the ground. Even 2 times I fell.
My name is Adriano. I'm from Italy. I'm a show jumping trainer and rider as well. I brought my horse Lucifero. My horse is very spooky. He will freeze or slow down when he's around an object that scares him. This causes trouble in the riding, obviously.
Hi, my name is Sophie. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm 19 years old. I'm an eventing rider, and I've also done quite some eventing competitions. I brought my horse Jimmy Choo. He's always been a bit tense, but the higher we got, the more nervous he got at competitions. So at a certain point where I couldn't get him into the dressage arena, couldn't get him into the starting box, or couldn't even normally get on without him exploding.
My name is Esther. I'm riding since I was 10. I brought my 5-year-old show jumper Olaska with me. I'm hoping to get my horse more relaxed, because when I have the saddle with me and come to him, he's like, oh no, no, no.
My name is Aloy Brandsma. I'm from the Netherlands, work as a tax advisor. Besides that, it's the horses, and the horses. I brought my horse. It's a mare, 5 years old. My horse doesn't want to go through narrow spaces. When the problems arise, at this time I have zero confidence.
Of course, this is not a quick fix program. We had thousands of applicants, and a lot of them were searching for that quick fix. And what I feel is really nice about this group is they're not in that space. They are really open. They are really willing to improve themselves.
During this week, Tristan will guide them on their journey of continuous transformation and empower both horse and rider to overcome challenges by themselves.
Welcome to the first edition of Camp TRT. Are you ready?
Over 1,000 riders applied, each facing serious challenges with their horse. 5 were chosen.
I don't have a solution for it.
At this time I have zero confidence.
5 days to start their personal journey of transformation.
I guess it's going to be a long process.
Even when you make progress, you can have a little setback.
This is not a quick fix program.
But is it really the horse that needs fixing, or will it require a deeper look into themselves? Join our 5 riders and their horses at Camp TRT.
Throughout my life, I've learned that horses for me is about self-knowledge, self-reflection, and self-improvement. I have learned a lot from horse people, of course from our greatest teachers, our horses, but through my self-exploration journey, I've also learned a lot from people outside of the horse world, experts in their own fields, which has given me an immense understanding of myself and has helped me to see myself through my horses. And it's helped me, therefore, to be able to see my horses better. This is what I hope to be able to share with you guys. You're about to enter into a world of great inspiration and exploration into yourselves. You will not only learn a lot about your horses, but you will also learn a lot about yourself and, of course, each other. You will get to work with me every day, one-on-one, and you'll also get to work with some of the people, the experts outside of the horse world that have helped me to grow and to be able to become a better person and a better horseman. So guys, welcome to your first one-on-one session. This is the assessment, the diagnosis phase, where we will get to see each of your horses individually for the first time, and we will be reading their stories, the biography that's written across their skin. We'll be looking at what they're good at, what they're not good at, what are the underlying patterns that control how they feel, think and behave. What I want you guys to focus on is to be able to see your horses. You've all been looking at them now for a long time, but I want you to be able to see them in this moment, not thinking about the previous memory and experiences you've had with them. And I want you also to try to see yourself in the reflection of what your horse will present to you, to us, today. So remembering those things, Esther, you are the first one to go.
Thank you. I brought my 5-year-old show jumper Olaska with me. I'm hoping to get my horse more relaxed, because when I have the saddle with me and come to him, he's like, oh no, no, no. But first you have to get on. And that's where the problem started. He was shaking. You could see it in his face. He was really, really anxious. I said, I don't do this anymore. I can do more wrong things than good things. I've given myself a year to make improvement, and now I'm here. So I hope to teach him and to teach myself how to get him relaxed and stay relaxed so that we can work together.
So guys, I'll just start by explaining a little bit my process with all of you, and then Esther, I'll get into chatting more directly with you. But the process in the beginning, when somebody comes in with the horse, is I'm just first trying to see a little bit the connection and relationship with the combination. Because of course the horse as an individual and the person as an individual are individuals. And the thing we have to work on is the combination between the two. We generally generalize between 3 main relationships or connections between the people and the horses. And that is the position of being the mummy, the dictator, or the mentor. Quite often in a mummy role, the first step is being able to let go. A mentor will allow you to make mistakes and let you feel what is the opposite of that. A dictator, in the same time, sometimes doesn't let go of the discipline. He wants to control everything. And so then we have to allow the horse to be able to make a good decision, to maybe make a wrong decision, to let him have the freedom to be able to test and feel what is good, what is the sensation that's going to serve me, and what's not going to serve me. And sometimes from those 2 spectrums of a mummy and a dictator, it's difficult to let go, to find that middle ground and become the good mentor for your horse. Where do you think you sit in the position, in the connection with you and your horse? If we talk about the dictator, the mentor, and the mummy.
I would like to be a mentor, but I think I'm a mummy.
Yes, correct. So, of course, the mummy is the one that always wants everything to go well. And the mummy will move position to try to keep everything from going into a bad place. And then, of course, the mentor is the middle ground. The mentor is the one that knows the most about how they can guide their horses into a state of relaxation, into a state of confidence. And so that's the shift we have to make. So I will take him and feel a little bit. And in the beginning, the assessment is that I try to bring the horses through a session where we find out as much as we can about them, and then we've got a framework and a basis for the rest of the week. That was quick. You abandoned your mummy quick. The first part about getting a horse confident that he now wants me to carry him in my arms and rock him like a baby and tell him that he's okay. So the first thing in order to give him more confidence is to not hold him. It's literally to let go. And this is also the metaphor and the feeling and the sensation that you have to try to get installed in your body. Letting go. Letting go of the fact that something might go wrong. And that's also okay. He will make mistakes. He will make the wrong move. He will be searching to find himself, to find the answers and solutions to be able to manage himself and make himself comfortable. So the letting go literally is the first step, and that leads to being able to do that through all of the phases and how we develop through this week.
I know I have difficulties with letting go, but I never realized that I'm doing the same thing with my horse. I don't let go. So I want to prevent things and everything. So my goal is giving him confidence, but my actions are not providing him with confidence.
And then the second part is to give him an understanding of his spatial awareness. Because he's so focused externally on where everything is and where you are, he has not the awareness of where he is. He's on an external search all the time to the other horses outside. And so we have to give him a good understanding of where he is within the space, and then he can begin to start to manage himself a little bit. So the first part's letting go. The second part is this spatial awareness. And so I start to notice then contraction patterns, involuntary contraction patterns in the body. But the general shape of the body is caused by the order of movement. The ill shape in the body that creates disconnection is caused often by the involuntary contraction in the body. So you see over-contraction of the glutes, makes a disconnection in the back, makes a seahorse neck in the front. So then you get two separate horses. And a lot of people then think, oh, you have to train him more over the back or lunge him in a certain position, try to develop the muscles. But of course, even if we worked him perfectly 1 hour a day, if he's in the tension gym the other 23 hours, you can't compete. The body will stay the same. The four main things we'll be teaching them how to manage themselves with is the element of movement, touch, sound, and approach. So things that move, things that make a sound, things that approach them, and things that touch them. And then, of course, a combination of those things. So it's not about desensitizing him, making him quiet. It's about teaching him to be intelligent by having an awareness of his body. Your body's doing the wrong thing, it's going to give you the wrong feeling. Become a master of yourself, and you'll master all situations. So if you cannot touch him, if he cannot handle something moving around him or over him, there's quite some elements, quite a few of those elements involved in getting on and riding a horse. It's going to take time in order to find new skills and to develop new knowledge and to develop new experiences. Also for Esther, not only for a horse, because actually they're both in a very similar position. I think it's actually going to be easier for Esther's horse than it is for her. And that's the thing we have to keep in mind the most, that it's not about just fixing the horse. It is about the combination. Just let him go back to the stable with little thought. And your first job is to...
Let go.
Yes, A student already. Good.
I brought my horse, Jimmy Choo. We've competed up to 3-star and done 2 European Championships for juniors together. He's always been a bit tense, but the higher we got, the more nervous he got at competitions. So at a certain point where I couldn't get him into the dressage arena, couldn't get him into the starting box, or couldn't even normally get on without him exploding. So he's also been out of competitions for a bit now, just to focus on fully getting him back to normal, back to relaxation. When I'm working with him and when I'm trying to do it like this on a Tristan kind of approach, I just feel so inexperienced, and most of the times I don't really know what to do. Like I have a few tricks to get him to relax again or to focus again, but just not enough. So I hope to gain way more knowledge. One day I would really love to ride Buccalo, and eventually the Olympics will be my dream, yeah.
So what's the story?
We bought Jimmy as a 6-year-old horse, and he's always been a bit nervous, a bit tense. They sort of just...
When I ask them, so tell me, what's the story? It's not so much that they are telling me about the horse, but it gives me a lot of information of where the person is at. When Sophie came in, I could almost hear her dialogue in her own head. And then just start to also let go of your preconceived ideas about You hope that he does good. I hope this goes well. I hope he likes him. I hope he does the right things. I could just hear this sort of dialogue of concern. So you have massive tension here in the pole, this reactive, tight. And when you start to get this tension, seahorse body, you're putting the feet in 2 concrete buckets. You get this nice upside-down African-looking banana neck and this nice little seahorse curve at the top. That means you are just getting into the ground. The horse had his biography written right across the skin, the tight skin that was stretched like a drum over the rest of his body. You know, a horse that has this immediate predict and protect, this reflex defense pattern in the body is a slave to himself. In every situation, whenever experiencing anything in the environment, the body is unconsciously going into this reflex pattern. Everything is tight. So the difficulty is that he's really connected to the body, thin, sensitive skin.
Yeah.
If a mosquito flies over the back and he's like this, then he's, what's causing this feeling in my body? But it's also a big plus.
Yeah.
Because he is very connected to his body, you can teach him to feel what's going on, to have more awareness of it, and to be able to change it. So these patterns here that we start to bring an awareness to, you will take everywhere. Before you go onto the truck or the trailer, when you get off at the other end, it's the first thing you're going to check in with. So he's checking in with himself in the moment where you arrive somewhere different. And this starts to be part of his self-management plan. When finding that his body was actually doing that, oh yeah, oh God, I didn't realize it was that tight. And as soon as he felt the first moments of relief, you knew that he was going to take it on. This is going to be a horse that's going to take the bull by the horns. And he will really take hold of it. He will be practicing all night in the stable. He will come out tomorrow going, look at me. I know how to make my body loose, man. And the importance of us getting hands-free is that he starts to take ownership of it, and that for the 23 hours he's not with you, he's practicing it. Jimmy started to really relax. He was breathing out, and he would chew, and he would lick the lips, a little yawn, and I'd look across. Sophie was also yawning. You feel now what his body's feeling. It's a good thing, but this is the connection you have to make. Because now you're not thinking about a technical aspect of riding. Now you're thinking about what he's feeling. And just because you think about that, you feel the same. He's also yawning inside. And also you let go of the expectation of the day. Just think from yesterday or even the day before or the last week. And now you're here. And now the tension goes out. You can't find your body gets like, oh, God, if he'd let me lie down in the corner of this round pen, I probably would. But it's good, because that's what he also has to feel.
Yeah.
Good.
We'll see.
Well done, both of you. You'd think, I didn't do anything.
No, I didn't.
You will feel it. Sometimes you see when the person tells about their previous experiences, the things that maybe went wrong, you often get a sense that the horse is feeling that energy from the person. The horse starts to get anxious, or they start to have a look of shame. And it might sound silly to some people that you think, oh, the horse is listening to the story and he doesn't like what's happened in the past. And it may not be the particular words or the language or the dialogue, but definitely the energy is familiar. That gives me a lot of information of how connected the horse is to those previous memories and experience and emotion to certain events, and of where I need to start with this combination in order to bring them forward in a positive way.
I brought my horse Lucifero. My horse is very spooky. He will freeze or slow down when he's around an object that scares him. This causes trouble in the riding, obviously. He can be very lazy, and other times he can be full of energy. He has two faces. I signed up for Camp TRT because I've already tried on my own to apply things I've learned through Tristan, and I would like to find new ways of teaching and new techniques to improve and make horses and riders happier. I was quite nervous going in there with my horse. He obviously, exploded as soon as I go in.
So already showing some athletic ability.
Yeah.
In the beginning, of course, we can think that maybe this horse is being naughty. He's really macho, he's dominant. Of course, there was a moment where he was exploding and jumping in the air and kicking out, and Adriano nearly lost his head. And we can think in that moment that it is this type of character, but we would be drastically misled. The horse from the beginning had this sense of absorbing all energies from the space with no filter. The birds were flying. There was a little bit of wind. There was a dog in the distance. There were horses in the field. And you could see his skin just soaking up all the energy in this environment. And then all that energy was like a swarm of bees underneath his skin that at some point had to explode out. So he's not feeling tired from his trip.
Nope, not tired from the trip.
And of course, it's a clear representation that he doesn't know what to do with himself in that situation. So I will just start with him. So I now focus on the part of the body which loses control, which is the front end in the beginning. And I want to be able to get one step here with a redirection. Here again. Behind and across. And my whip is then an extension of my arm so that I'm able to reach the space in which the energy is projecting itself up into. A lot of people then make the association of, oh, he's waving a whip around the horse's head and you should never do that. And in the beginning, we want to, of course, address that energy that's way up there. So I have to be able to reach there and be able to redirect that energy back down, that he's able to take the step behind and across. He changed very drastically from being explosive to calm and relaxed, from biting on the rope to being totally loose without tension in the mouth. And then we started to build, had the opportunity to build a connection in the body. Redirection, oi, good. Yeah. Good. Yes. And that we start to get some energy from himself. He starts to feel, oh, if I go, oh, I have to go here. The coordination from the knowledge of knowing where you are. What is the good order of movement to find connection, which gives you balance, which creates power, impulsion, and energy. But the explanation in the beginning has to be slow in order for him to understand what it is. And then be able to pick up and then switch off. This pattern is also really important in the horses that don't have a filter absorbing energy because they don't have control over when the energy is coming in and when we can switch off. He has to also know, now I'm just resting. I don't have to do or think of anything. In the middle of the jumping course, fence 5, rest. Pick up, oh, we go to the next one. And we build this pattern into him. He has an awareness of his own energy and the control of that. And when he can control his own energy, You don't have to. Of course, this is fresh, this is new. He's not yet feeling himself and finding a connection, finding this conversation in the body. So when he has to draw now energy from himself, he doesn't have that experience. So there is not a lot of energy in his body. So we have to limit that and make that session short. We want to let him find the spark within his body and savor that, let it grow. So in the coming days, we may then be able to pick it up and work further on finding more connection and more energy within his own body. A really, really sweet character. Really kind. Yeah, and sometimes we think we get the wrong impression. We can sometimes think with the explosion he shows in the beginning, oh, he's, you know, an ass and he's just being naughty and but he's actually in a state where he doesn't know what the hell to do with himself in that moment. So when we can teach him that, then he will change a lot. It's a nice horse, yeah? Good boy, yeah.
I can see the plan, and I'm a bit overwhelmed because it looks quite, quite difficult, but Tristan says that it can be done, so I'm very motivated at the moment.
I brought a 6-year-old mare, Nadine. I bought her last winter, and a very nice type, and kind of horse I like, with a lot of sensitivity, blood, and yeah, elegant. So I knew she was green, so I started to let her move a little bit on the launch before I go up on her. And I do go up on her, and I was very fast on the ground. Even 2 times I fell. I already want to improve my horsemanship, and then I thought, okay, with this horse in my stable now, I really have the reason to, for sure, improve. The shows are like the end goal, but first we have to have her relaxed and understand that it will be okay to ride with her, and like galloping around and maybe do some jumps. Let's hope. We have to have a bit good belief here.
So tell me the story. The great thing about Martina was her total outlook.
I was very curious about to have a sit on my new horse, you know, to see her in action.
Yeah.
And I got action.
Yeah, you get on, you think, I'm really looking forward to trying my new horse, and boom, she's falling off, getting on again, getting thrown off again. It's a total disaster. She was not like that at all. She thought, well, I'm going to have to learn a little bit something new, and I'm going to have to find a way to be able to help this horse.
You know that you have to be better yourself and not skip the steps. Because I think that quite some horses I was doing, I skip steps, but still I'm lucky enough to be able to do the things.
And that is the greatest advantage anybody can ever have. You are not a disability to yourself in that mindset. Martina's horse was incredibly sensitive. I needed to not go in and start to do something. I would offend her right away. And if you are not sensitive to that, you will be overstepping the mark all the time. So in the beginning, I tried to feel the less sensitive areas. There's not really any at the moment that are not sensitive. And we have to be careful because she has a huge amount of talent in the body that we don't just start doing exercises, moving front legs, moving hind legs, going through the patterns, and you find very quickly that she will just do everything with 2 fingers in the nose, and it doesn't mean anything. No. If you're not recognizing that she is running away from everything, you can think, oh, she does all the patterns, I can do it. She's really good at the groundwork, but in the riding, she's still a nightmare. She's not making relaxed, grounded body, flexion, and then picking up the feet. Everything gets light and sensitive, and then she moves with a body that's light and sensitive. And if something happens, that light and sensitive body is flying. It's not serving her. It's not functional. It's giving her a sense inside that she should watch out for everything. Yeah. However you move is who you are. It's always looking like there's a spider on the ground. You have to get into this position. He's a modern horse. He's not like the Oldenburger from 20 years ago. You lunge him for 10 minutes and put the whole family on. This one you can lunge for 5 years and put a fly on and she'll still buck it off. The long, boring part will be getting her grounded. You have to feel a lot, hold a lot. But what it does through you going through that process on the ground is it gives you the right sensation and feeling and direction of energy in your body for when you get up. Because all of the things that you have to do in the riding with a horse like this is totally counterintuitive. Meaning when you feel she's light and you think, oh, take the leg off, it's when you should put the leg on.
Yeah.
When you think she's going forward and you have to lighten your seat, it's when you have to sit down. When you would normally want to go because she needs the contact and get grounded. But if you do it here, where you're feeling the body, she starts to go, and you don't try to be light and hold her still in that moment, but you make contact, feel the body. Yes, we're going to here get grounded. Oh, here. Yes. And these sorts of things with these horses doesn't change overnight. One, because this has been her survival mechanism. She thinks she's still alive today because of this sensation in her body. So she has to feel the sensation. And then she has to experience the sensation in a situation that would be threatening and realize, no, it's not about the thing. It's about myself. If I learn to control myself, I learn to control the situation. This is giving me a different sensation than this.
Thank you.
But the way you walked in is what you need to feel. With her, you need to feel that you are 100 kilos heavier than you are, grounded, not light, not anything. Expect her to be heavy on the rein. Expect her to be difficult to move when she's in the cross ties. She has to feel that sensation, communication, conversation with you all the time. That then her body starts to let down. Her body starts to follow. But the first bit is time-consuming, but it will come. It will be really interesting to see how it's going to progress, but I just have a really good feeling about Martina and her outlook. I think that she will go maybe a lot further than we all predict just because of her outlook, just because of her attitude.
I bought my horse. It's a mare, 5 years old. Very sweet character. But when the problems arise, at this time I have zero confidence. My horse doesn't want to go through narrow spaces. We tried everything. We switched stables. We went into building new stables with a wide front door that can open 3.5 meters wide. But still, the problem existed, and finally we tried ESDR therapy, but to our impression, nothing helped. And so the only thing I can do is do nothing or just start crying that we are not succeeding. I just don't have the confidence anymore to do any practice with her because I'm afraid of what can happen. I know Tristan is successful in not only dealing with horses, but also in coaching people. And I'm willing to show my nervousness and my zero confidence to everyone who wants to see it. But the only way to improve is to let someone else see what you're doing wrong and what you must do to regain your confidence. So I must do it, but yeah.
So, Alois, what's the story?
I bought her last year, exactly 1 year ago. We took her home from the address where she was born and raised.
Yeah.
It was her first trailer ride and her last until today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I felt from the beginning that Alois was very personally invested in this horse. They've been through already a lot together. He has a deep dedication in his own self-improvement. You feel from him that he wants to get better for his horse. All right, and then I'll feel her a little bit first, and then we'll see
Yes.
what the biography says.
Thank you.
And then we'll go from there.
Here you go.
And then we'll see if we can go into
Very curious.
narrower locations throughout the days.
Yes. Thank you.
Immediately, I could feel from a distance that there was not a great deal of connection in the horse's body. Everything was a little bit segmented. There was no energy that was running through the horse's body. I don't feel a great deal of tension or contraction patterns in the body, just the separation, which is then a problem when you have an influx of energy that there is no line.
No,
It's just...
that's our experience. It is freezing or just the highest possible amount of feeling.
Yeah. And what was really nice about that is that Aloy could feel it immediately himself. Everything has some space.
Yeah.
And you feel that also here.
Yeah.
Everything has space. And now you feel here, and then immediately you could see in his face, oh yes, there's quite some tension here.
Yeah, that's quite different.
Yes. And because we could go directly to that space, and then the mare was like, oh, yeah, I'm living in this skin with that feeling every day. And what we want to encourage is, so when I'm feeling the body, I allow the body to come towards the contact. So not so much away, but this feeling. And then going away a little bit. That when she feels her neck, she's letting go and she's following. The important part is to be able to go back and change her past. It sounds stupid. You think, yeah, how do you change a horse's history? Mm-hmm. And of course, we can't change what happened. What happened, happened. She went through the stable, she bashed her hip, she got totally afraid, insecure. This is her trauma. This is her nightmare. That we can't change. What we can change is the narrative in which she tells herself about it. So dealing with directly the part of the body that's disconnecting the rest of the body. If the neck gets like this, you don't have anything. Soften that part with every experience, and then she starts to believe that, I can do something different in my body, changes how I feel. I now can determine the outcome. And then through that, she can have some self-generated learning abilities. The cause is there. And so what was really nice is that the horse could feel it and the owner could feel it. Before we can start to teach her some guidance of following the feet and going somewhere, forward, back, left and right, through a small space, through a big space, this has to function well. Otherwise, that's going to be your first stop, brace. And we need that to be pliable and following, to be soft, to keep the communication open. And when you can feel what the cause of the problem is, and you can start to then guide them and help them in what are the steps to enable them to find the solution and take those skills then to that new situation and progress from there, it's a success story before you've even started. Good girl.
But you'll think we'll come to practice in and out of the stable?
100%.
Okay.
It's not a problem. We found the problem.
Thank you.
You just get the replacement part and then connect it all.
Thanks.
Good job.
Heidi.
So guys, come and take a seat.
It is really a pony camp.
Yeah.
My first proper pony camp.
Yeah, ponies and all. I feel that it's quite a amazing energy in the group, like people from all over, different disciplines, different ages, and actually you guys already feel a bit like a team, helping out at the stable and just little stuff. It's nice. So what's your impressions of the first day in general?
It was really interesting, tiring as well, because absorbing all this information.
Yeah.
I feel hopeful again. With the trainer my horse was at, they told me I could better sell him to a professional.
Yeah.
It would be a really nice horse for a professional.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have some hope that it would be a really nice horse for me as well.
Yeah.
I always try to solve the problems without really understanding what the real cause is of everything. So today it was confirmed that you know, to solve something, you really have to go down to the
bare bones of it. Yeah. And do you guys have a different sensation coming here? Did you have some experiences maybe before in the environment you're in the stable you're in? Maybe you've already had experience. I know some of you are already doing TRT. You're at maybe a stable where there's other riders, and then you have this feeling. And if you guys have that impression from the outside world,
I have that
or the community?
Because I tried to do some things at the show, and so at the show there's a lot of people around, and you know, 99% are just traditional riders and trainers, and if you do something that is completely different, it really stands out.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of eyes on you.
Yeah.
So for me, it was kind of difficult to handle that.
It's totally, you know, I of course have had the same for many years, helping students with horses, working my own horses. As a rider and a trainer, when you start to develop yourself, you're going to go on paths and roads that are really individual to you. And the closer you get to the path that is individual to you, then the further you get from everybody else. And when you are starting to be different, for me now, it is the sign that I'm doing the right thing. And this is what I like about this setup is, again, I'm not here to solve all your problems and say you have a problem with this and we're going to do this and then your problem's going to go away. It's about you finding the answers and the ways in which you can have the right conversations with your horses. You can see your horses like we've seen today, and you start to be able to have your own ideas of, this is maybe what will work, and this is what I can teach the next horse, and this is what I can help my student with, and my friend with her horse. And then we start to get energy from that knowledge, from being able to help ourselves, so we're useful to ourselves, we're useful to our horses, and useful to everybody else. So I'm really happy with the feeling of the first day, and I'm really looking forward to the next days.
Next time on Camp TRT, having assessed the horses, it's now the riders who are scrutinised by expert optometrist Rob.
Yeah, we have to dance to keep your balance. Okay.
Does their visual system help with, or get in the way of, interacting with their horses?
And it's not a competition, Adriano, it's just a test. So your visual system is not accurate enough.
And Tristan takes on all 5 riders and horses in their first one-on-one sessions, making a start to changing their conversations.
Your right side. Yeah, like this.
She's moving.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And just feeling the skin. And if you feel the skin, he's feeling the skin. Not outside the circle. Hey. Where are you going to go?
Here? No, at the side of her.
Yeah. And stop. Yeah. Guide him.
Will the 5 riders be able to fight the storm and to start changing the conversation? Find out in the next episode of Camp TRT.